Blizzard, World of Warcraft, I love you. I really do. I think you guys managed to turn a lot around when it comes to World of Warcraft. And you made me fall in love again with World of Warcraft, which I didn't think was possible. But this is stupid. And I could borderline just end the video there, and I'm really tempted to. But I'm going to go into why I believe that the content cadence of 11.1.5 is absolutely dumb. Hello everyone, I am Jmulls, and we're a little late to the party here, and I don't know how I missed this, but they put out the release date, or dates, for 11.1.5, the halfway patch between big numbered patches. 11.1.5 being Nightfall, which has been hotly anticipated because the name is really dang cool. And there's actually a decent amount of content coming alongside 11.1.5. I played a bit of it on the PTR when it first went up. It's okay. I haven't tried out Dastardly Duos, we'll get to that. But we're getting a new quest farm with Renown, we're getting like in-game weak auras called Cooldown Manager, Horrific Visions make a comeback, and we get an entire new event called Dastardly Duos. And I'm going to say this right now, the content looks fine. It does. And there's a decent amount there. A heck of a lot more than Siren Isle, and I even liked Siren Isle. But the simple act of giving people at max level more things to do is good. But why are we time gating it? Nightfall and Cooldown Manager come out on April 22nd. Okay, that's pretty soon. We have the Winds of Mysterious Fortune event going from April 22nd to May 20th, which is just basically more XP for your alts to my knowledge. And like maybe reputation, whoop-de-doo. And then you have to wait almost a month for May 20th to have access to Horrific Visions. And then a couple weeks later, then you get access to Dastardly Duos. Why is this so time-gated? This has been a frequent point of critique for World of Warcraft for almost a decade, heck, I think longer at this point, where the content itself is good, but you absolutely neuter, you just kill, you chokehold the life out of any potential hype you might accrue for the content, because right when it's getting good, right when people might be the most interested, they run out of things to do and are told to wait a week. This isn't a weekly show. And like maybe Nightfall is a one-off and they just go, look, we need more time for some of this content to come out, so we're gonna do this. I don't think that's gonna be the case, one. But like also, this is like the easiest way to kill hype and anticipation for a patch that you can possibly do other than the selfie patch from Warlords of Draenor. One of the cool elements of an MMO patch day is when you have all this new content available to you and you see everyone participating in various different things. It's like a buffet where you have a bunch of options and you can pick and choose what you want to partake. And that perception is king. But when you drip feed content in such a manner like they are going to do with 11.1.5 Nightfall, you log on, you don't have a wellspring of options to partake in. No, you have dailies. And maybe I don't know the full story, but I did the Nightfall stuff in the PTR when the PTR first went up for Nightfall, and they were kind of garbage. They were just basic kill quests. And maybe there's a little bit more to them, because the transmog is S tier. It's really nice. I like it, even though it's a recolor. The quests themselves don't have a lot of staying power in my opinion. They just go to this place and kill a bunch of mobs. You're good. People are gonna log on for 11.1.5 and they're gonna be met with that as their first impression for this patch, and they're gonna go, oh, that's it? People are hyping this up? What happened to Horrific Visions? I gotta wait a month. Dude, doesn't Doom the Dark Ages come out around that time? Yeah, around that time. Oh. And it's like, Horrific Visions are really cool, do not get me wrong, but they are just from BFA. And like, Dastardly Duos looks cool, at least conceptually. I haven't seen much, I want to react to it for the first time by playing it. But instead of putting all of your eggs in one basket to generate as much hype and anticipation for a WoW patch as you humanly can, by packaging all of this together, here's a good example for this. What do you get more hyped for? One thing of Advent calendared chocolate a day, or an entire Easter basket full of candy? That's the point. Even if it's the same amount of content, people perceive it to be more if it's all packaged together. I'm sure some people won't mind this, especially if you plan on playing consistently that entire time. But it's just like, this is unnecessary in my opinion for what should be an easy W for World of Warcraft when it comes to the Nightfall patch. Because, yeah, if the Nightfall campaign itself is just a bunch of kill quests, that may not be the best thing ever, but when it's packaged together with Dastardly Duos and Horrific Visions, then you can play a bit of that and then go do other stuff to be entertained and to keep your attention and your excitement. But when you force people to hyperfixate on one piece of content specifically, they play it for a bit and they realize, oh, this is it. And you don't have the luster, you don't have the sheen of a patch day anymore. You have this drip-fed piece of content that will, in my opinion, just become kind of dull. This isn't needed at all. And I get what Blizzard are trying to do here. I do. They want to eliminate the feeling of downtime in World of Warcraft as much as humanly possible. It's why they went to this 8-week cadence when it comes to putting out new content. They don't want another Siege of Orgrimmar or Icecrown where you have giant chunks of time of just nothing happening. So in their mind, they probably view this to be a good thing because, oh, having less than a month when it comes to waiting for something new to come up online to do is probably more preferable than waiting a full 8 weeks and front-loading all the content. And maybe they're right when it comes to numbers. Maybe they have some kind of data in the background that supports the idea that if you drip feed content and time gate it in such a manner, you have higher increased player retention. But we had the same argument back in the day. You can chase metrics all you want, but if you don't know what goes behind everything, if you don't know what goes into the creation of those statistics and those numbers, then you're doomed to misinterpret your results. I think the game is a hell of a lot better than what it used to be, and Blizzard have blown me away by how much better this game has gotten. But this is still the one issue that I just think they don't see entirely, because I don't believe that drip feeding content in such a manner creates more excitement than when it's all coming out at once. And maybe they have player statistics that show increased retention by doing stuff like this, but I think over time that just creates less and less excitement for the game, which I also think to be a negative element. You want people to be excited and to be looking forward to things in this game. That should be the goal, not little spurts of oh, this is pretty cool. Oh, new stuff. It's pretty alright. You want people to go, oh, hell yeah, dude, patch day, let's go. Look at all this stuff that I can do. I got a new renown track over here with some nice recalls I would like to get. Oh, horrific visions? I can go do those for a little bit because I remember doing them back in BFA. They were so good back then. Oh, wait, dude, this isn't BFA anymore. We don't have any of those stupid systems that bring down horrific visions like they did back then. This could be awesome, dude. Oh man, what is this? Dastardly duos. We get to fight 2 bosses at the same time? That sounds cool as well. You lose that excitement, you lose that luster, that sheen. It's no longer a full course meal that is perfectly balanced at anything like that. It just becomes a bunch of various micro snacks. And I think over time you'll see less excitement for the game as a direct result if this type of time gating applies to future patches as well. I'm sure they're just experimenting here when it comes to 11.1.5. When it comes to Nightfall, I am absolutely certain that's what they want to do here. They want to experiment with this type of patch cycle and see if the numbers support that people, even if they kick up a stink like I'm doing right now when it comes to this initially, maybe it leads to better player retention later on. Or maybe somehow this gives them more time for certain pieces of content to tinker out any potential bugs or glitches. Because now World of Warcraft has been kind of known for being quite buggy when a new patch comes out. I don't think it's entirely only downsides here. I just think in a time when World of Warcraft needs as much excitement as it can possibly get, I don't think this is the best way to go about acquiring it. In fact, I think over time it'll erode excitement for patches overall, and potentially even lessen the impact of various pieces of content if that is all that someone has to look forward to when a micro patch comes out. Personally, I would advise Blizzard to not do this again in the future, because to me, it just makes things less fun. I like it when there's a bunch of content that comes out on a patch. I like being able to pick and choose to prioritize what I want to do. I like having the feeling that I have a lot that I can do. This directly takes away from that, and I don't think for the long-term health of the game that it'll make the game better. And with that, I'll call the video there for the day. Thank you all for tuning in. My pleasure for bringing the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out and help support future content, and I greatly appreciate it. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts, your opinions on Nightfall. Do you like the fact that time gating it? I would love to hear your reason why. Do you disagree with them doing this? And I'd love to hear your reason why. Stay safe, have a great day, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye everybody, until we meet again.